Hi and welcome to Outwell. In this film I'm going to talk you through the features of our Concorde M from our Smart Air collection. You can see here that it's a tunnel design tent and it's aimed to sleep up to 5 people. With it being from our Smart Air collection, you'll find that we have inflatable tubes rather than the traditional poles. What this does is allows the tent to be pitched very quickly and very easily using our One-go Inflation Technology. This is where we have the one single valve where we attach the pump to inflate the entire tent. The way it works is the air is sent in the middle tube here, and then we have interconnecting sections which then sends the air to the other tubes, allowing this to be inflated really quickly. We do supply the pump with the tent, and what you'll find is on the top here we do have a manometer, so you can just see exactly what pressure you're inflating the tent to, and it can be inflated to between 0.6 and 0.8 bar, which is 8.7 to 11.6 psi. So what that means is you're going to have a real sturdy, stable tent even in windy conditions. When it comes to taking down the tent, we then have release valves on every single tube section as well. For quick deflation, all we have to do is just open this and the air will just come straight out. The fabric that we use for the fly sheet on the Concorde M is our Outtex Airtech. This is a polycotton material, which is 65% cotton and 35% polyester. That means it's going to be really long lasting. It's also going to react very well to the environment that it's in, whereby if it's a hot day, you're actually going to be kept a little bit cooler in here and vice versa. It's also naturally waterproof, and we do put a coating on here as well just to help the water bead straight off of it on showery days. We also have a rain safe entrance on this side here, which you can just see is created using this Duratec fiberglass pole, and obviously that just gives you good shelter over the tent if it is going to be a little bit drizzly. You'll also find that we're using our floating guylines on here, so you can see that we have the black guyline at the top, which ties in with some of the trim on the tent, and then we have our luminous guylines at the bottom here, hopefully to stop you tripping over them quite as easily. We also, for each guyline, have a retainer, so when it comes to packing down the tent, we can simply wrap up the guylines in our hands and pop them in here so that they're easily accessible the next time you come to use the tent. Some other features you'll find is that we supply you with the Easy Pegging System with this tent. So this is where there are 3 different pegs. You have the solid steel pegs for the corners of the tent, and these go into the grey pegging points. We then have the black plastic pegs for all of the black pegging points around the side of the tent, and we have the luminous peg for the luminous guylines. So that just really makes sure that you get the right peg in the right place. You'll also find that we have some ventilation pockets just here at the front of the tent. Again, just to allow cool fresh air in here, keeping you a little bit more comfortable. And you'll find there's more ventilation at the back of the tent across the bedrooms as well. You'll also see here that we have large tinted windows on this tent. So these serve 2 key functions. One is to reflect the sunlight away from the inside, keeping you a little bit more comfortable, reducing the amount of glare. And secondly, they give you great privacy as well. When we come around to the front, you'll see it's certainly a full walk-in height tent, and also it's a good width at the front door here, so nice and easy to get furniture and storage and things like this into the tent. The ground sheet that we use is fully sealed from front to back and side to side, and it's a durable material. It's an Oxford polyester, and it has a hydrostatic head of 5,000 millimeters. It is also bathtub in style, so it does come up around the edges, so that's not going to allow any drafts in, and hopefully it's going to keep out those unwanted bugs as well. At the top of the tent, you'll find that we have a lantern hanging point here, and then we have cable tidies which just run down to the side here where you'll find our cable entry point. This just allows you to run electrics into the tent without having any cables coming through the door. I just want to point this door out here because we do have the mesh door zipped in place. So obviously we have the outside door rolled up, but then with this here in place, we get great ventilation within the tent, again, hopefully keeping out those bugs, and you will find that there's one on the other side of the tent as well. So I just want to draw your attention to the top of the tent here where we have the long tube sections running from the front to the back of the tent. So this is part of our One-go Inflation Technology, where as I mentioned, the air is sent up the middle tube when you're inflating it, and then sent along these ones to the rest of the tubes. We do have these shut-off valves just at the top on each section here. So what you want to do is just make sure that you have this in the closed position once that the tent is pitched. And what that does is separates each tube section. Also, another advantage of having this system is actually that it creates great stability because you have this center tube running down the middle here. So if I just lean on the tent, you can see that it's very, very stable. So I mentioned that the tent has plenty of windows all the way around here, and just want to highlight that each window also has its own curtain here. So you can see that we have this halfway up at the moment, but it obviously can be fully closed or fully opened. This is also where you'll find the ventilation panels that I mentioned earlier on, and as I said as well, we have the full drop-down mesh door here as well. At the back of the tent is where you'll find the sleeping compartments, and as I said, this tent sleeps up to 5 people. The way that we have attached the bedrooms to the fly sheet is using our wave-shaped hanging point system here, and what this does is it takes any stress point across this seam away and makes sure that these are hung in a secure fashion. Some other features on here, we have some storage pockets on the outside. We then have more ventilation panels on the doors themselves, which have curtains behind there for privacy, or they can be opened up for more comfort. Inside the bedrooms, you'll find that we have some more storage pockets, great for smaller personal possessions. Across the back of the tent, we have a large mesh ventilation panel, which corresponds to the outside ventilation. And you'll just see here that the bedrooms are split using this fully zipped sheet of material in here, which can be fully opened up to create one large bedroom, or can be as we have it here. Another great feature of these bedrooms is that we use our universal bedroom system. So this is where you can very simply take away one of the bedrooms just by untoggling around the front. And if we did that all the way around here and did the same at the back, we take the zips in the middle here, you can just see that this whole bedroom could easily just be dropped down. You can then roll that up and clip it in place, leaving you with one big bedroom and even more living space in here. We have a few optional extras available for the tent, including a carpet for the living area. There's a footprint available to go under the tent. We also have a front extension and a front awning available. So that's all of the features for the Concorde M. Thanks very much for watching.